So today we will study OWASP API security top 10. In the previous session we covered Crappy Lab and Wappy Lab. Yeah, we will do the Wappy Lab. And I covered the Kite Runner tool, Authorize extension. So if anyone not attended the session, then just go to our website and learn from there. Okay. So we will go one by one. So OWASP API security top 10 means like see what OWASP do. API top 10. So OWASP make a list like which bug is mostly find out related to API. So see on top 10 means like this will cover the top 10. So say they are changed every time. See in 2019 maybe some bugs are in the not in top 10, but now they are in top 10. So you can see, okay, I will show you. See there is see this is 2019 and there is injection attack at 8 position in 2023. Okay, there is no injection attack in top 10. So these positions can be changed. Like if some bugs are like find out widely again and again, then that increase the rank. So most widely find out the bugs. So this is OWASP top 10 API security list. Okay. So we will go one by one. So first is broken object level authorization. So what is this bug? Actually, first we will go from here. So broken object level authorization. So we called it BOLA also, BOLA, broken object level authorization, BOLA, BOLA. Okay. So attacker can exploit API endpoints that are vulnerable to broken object level authorization by manipulating the ID of an object that is sent within the request. Object ID can be anything from sequential integer UUID or generic strings. Regardless of data type, they are easy to identify in request target, request header, and even the part of request payload. So what is the thing here? When we are requesting any API endpoint like v2 API and there is a user endpoint and user is 102. Okay, and when we are sending the GET request, then what we get, we are getting the detail about the user. Okay, like email is anything @gmail.com. Okay, and maybe we are getting the password, like any password. Okay, and or maybe we are getting other things. Okay, other API keys. Okay, these should be in double quotation. I am just showing you. So yeah, so this is the JSON. I think everyone know. I am explaining them again and again, like this is JSON, this is JSON. So yeah, so this is JSON. So very easy language. Okay, so when we send this request v1 API to API user 102, so we will get this response. Okay, email is this, password is this, and other thing we are getting the API key. Okay, API key of this user. Okay, if the site is vulnerable to this BOLA, broken object level authorization, then what happen if we change this to, okay, like see, okay, this is using like, okay, maybe this is using authorization header bearer, or here maybe there is a JWT token. Okay, token. But what I do, I just use this request, same request, okay, and change this 102 to 103. But if I get other users data, like first is so other user, so this is other user. See, ID is different, other users data or password is different, and API key also different. So if we are getting the other users data, then this site is vulnerable to BOLA, broken object level authorization. Okay, so this is the issue. So this issue is extremely common in API based application because the server component usually does not fully track the client state, instead relies more on the parameter like object IDs and that are sent from the client to decide which object to access. Okay, see, you can understand like application, because the server component usually does not fully track the client state. Client state means they are not tracking, okay, this bearer token, see, we are getting the detail of anything user by using this authorization token. But see, they are not tracking like, okay, next time I'm sending the same token for which user of this token, from anything user, but I'm getting the data of another user, means they are not tracking like, okay, this token is related to anything, then we need to reject this request, but they are not reject, we are getting, means they are not tracking. The server response is usually enough to understand whether the request was successful. Okay, this is the weakness. And what is the impact? Impact, see, I already described. Unauthorized access to other users object can result in data disclosure to unauthorized parties, data loss or data manipulations. Okay, under certain circumstances, unauthorized access to objects can also lead to full account takeover. Sometimes what happen, like maybe this will leak the API and I can use this API for authentication, then this will happen, there will a full account takeover will be happen. But otherwise, like if you leak the API key, then that is also a P1 bug, already a P1 bug, so no need to do a account takeover. Okay, why? Because account takeover is P2 bug and API key leaking is P1 bug. Like if you find out the API key, then just report it. Okay, so example I already gives you. So how to prevent? Implement a proper authorization mechanisms that relies on the user's policy and hierarchy. Means we need to implement like, okay, this user can access this thing, this user can access this thing, like mean, okay, admin user can access this, and they need to verify through the token like, okay, this is the user and this is this hierarchy, means okay, means this user is user, okay, other user may be author, and other user may be admin, or other user may be super admin. Okay, okay, so we need to keep this hierarchy, like user can access only on his user's data, this author can access this on author access data, so they have maintain a hierarchy for that. Okay, like super admin can access everything, admin can only like admin data, author data, and user, means admin can access both data, super admin can every admin data and other data. So this is the implementation. First, use the authorization mechanism to check if the logged in user has access to perform the request actions on the recovery in every function. That uses in an input from client to access a record in database. Okay, so we need to verify like this user is accessing this user. Okay, prefer to use the random and unpredictable value in GUID. So what happened? Okay, even we are not validating, like okay, we misconfigured this and we are not validating if they are using here UUID, and that is very difficult to guess. Like there is a one attack in UUID, that is sandwich attack. I will teach you someday sandwich attack in UUID, but okay, like otherwise it is impossible to crack the UUID. Okay, like if they are using UUID, so it is very difficult, or mostly you can think like it's impossible to create other users UUID. Like UUID is a like this. You, I think, like this is a 36 thing. So this is very long, and this is generated through a function. So it's very difficult to guess. Like if we, okay, if they use this UUID here, so like even if they are not validating properly, but as an attacker, it is very difficult to for us to guess this. Like if I want to, yeah, I find out this attack on Upwork.com. Like they are like, see, I created user 1, user 2, user 1 can access user 2. I reported, but they told me like, okay, like how you find out this, like how you crack this, like for other user, like you creating 2 user, then you know this. But otherwise, see, like it is not possible to guess the other user's UUID. So that uh, that bug to like not applicable bug. Change that bug to not applicable on Upwork.com. I reported this in 2019. So see, so yeah, there is a one attack in UUID. I will teach you one day, sandwich attack. Okay, you can also research your own sandwich attack in UUID. Okay, otherwise it is almost impossible to crack UUID. Okay, so this is another thing. And write test to evaluate the functionality of authorization mechanism. Do not deploy changes that make the test fail. Okay, so this is about BOLA. And another thing also, see, these are the example. See, not always things are going in the URL. Sometimes maybe they are using JSON, request in JSON, like this get API v1 account 2222, and we are getting the other users data here. Okay, we are changing it to 33, we are getting the user B data. Okay, they're like, maybe they are using the post request. See, post request API v1 account. So there is data in the body section. So we can also change that. Like, don't think like you will get always in the URL. Sometimes we can also alter or manipulate the body section also. See, post API v1 account and post this account. So this is also happen. Okay, and see, email user A company, email user B company. So always, like when you see the data, so always try to alter and try to get another user. Like we will do these all things in labs, then you will understand more. I'm just explaining the WASP API security top 10 because this is very important in your interview or your learning purpose and other things also. Okay, this is about broken object level authorization. So this is on the topmost level. Okay, this is means most of the bug hunters or pen tester finding this vulnerability widely. Okay, so second is broken authentication. Okay, so broken, this is first, then this is broken authentication. So okay, the authentication mechanism, yeah, everyone know authentication mechanism. Authentication mechanism an easy target for an attacker since it's exposed to everyone. Okay, although more advanced technical skills may be required to exploit some authentication issue, exploiting tools are generally available. Okay, so authentication, everyone know what is authentication. Authentication means login, multi-factor authentication and login endpoint. Like see, username password, where we are using username password. So what weakness we can found in API for authentication? Software and security engineers misconceptions regarding authentication boundaries and inherent implementation complexity make authentication issues prevalent. Methodology of detecting broken authentication are available and easy to create. See, we already did some authentication attack, so you can use those attack in our second or third session. So we already did the authentication. Okay, so see, attacker can, what is the impact? Attacker can gain complete control of other users account in the system, read their personal data, perform sensitive actions on their behalf. See, like if we bypass the authentication, means we can take over the account, we can perform other actions behalf of the victim user, we can take over their account. Okay, so what vulnerability we can find out in authentication? Okay, permit credential stuffing, where the attacker use the, see, if application is vulnerable to brute force attack on login endpoint. Okay, one thing is that we already did this. Okay, in our second third session. Okay, permit attackers to perform a brute force attack on the same user account without presenting captcha. Like if application is not using the captcha, like we can also, or if they are not using the account lookout, or so we can perform a brute force attack. Permits a weak password, like weak password policy. I think you heard about weak password policy means application needs to use the strong password policy. Strong password means like at least 10 to 12 character, like at least 10 to 12 character password. one thing. Then combination, use the combination. Combination means number and alpha, okay, alphanumeric, and then this, okay, special characters. So that is very difficult to crack. So this is a strong password policy. Like if there is no password policy, or if you are using this simple password, means like this, so this is no password policy. Okay, no password policy. That is also a bug. Okay, send sensitive authentication details such as auth token or password in the URL. Like if what happen, sometimes application send the data such as auth token and password token like in the URL. Like if application like this, get user, and maybe there is a code, and they are sending it in the URL. So that is also a bug. Okay, this is also a misconfiguration. So they do not need to send in the URL. Okay. Okay, allow user to change their email, current password, do any sensitive open without asking for password confirmation. See, guys, these all things are already covered in our common bugs. Like I'll see, delete account without password confirmation. Okay, email change without password confirmation. Okay, doesn't validate the authenticity of token. Accept unsigned weak JWT, algorithm none attack. We already did this. Okay, doesn't validate the JWT expiration date. Okay, so JWT should expire in 15 to 1 hour. After that, see, sometime what happens, JWT have a expiration. Like I will show you how. JWT.io. So this is an example. See, and see, there is the expiration. You can see this. So this is issuing. So okay, the issues at, but there is no expiration. So this is also a bad configuration. Okay, misconfiguration. Okay. So there is two things: issued at and expire at. So issued at is there. See, issued at is there, but no expiration. So this is also a misconfiguration. Okay. Other is uses plain text, non-encrypted or weakly hashes password. So what happens sometimes if they are using the plain text or non-encrypted? So see, when we are using the password, username, password in front end, that will go in the back end, and they will encrypt that password and save that in the database. If they are storing that username and password directly in database without using hashing or encryption, and that is not a, that is also a misconfiguration. Like either what happened, like when when database leak happen, then everyone will get your username password directly. Like even if they are using the hashes, okay, like think my username is maybe my username is b23541. Okay, this is my username, and maybe this is my password. If they are storing this directly on the database, and maybe like database leak happened, and someone will maybe cracked their database and they leaked their database, so everyone will get my username password. Means like they have maybe like millions of username password, then everyone will get this. But nowadays most of the applications are using hashing, like MD5 SHA-256 hashing. So what happened, encryption or hashing? So what happened, because of that, like hashing is a one-way function. Like if you hashed this, then it is like if you are using the strong combination of username and password, like a combination of password, then it is not possible to crack that. It is possible, but most you can say like almost impossible. Okay. So use weak encryption key. Like even if they are using the encryption or encryption key is not strong, then that is also we can decrypt that. Okay. So this is all about broken authentication. See, we already did this. Okay. Next is project. Project broken object property level authentication. Okay. This is almost same as object level, but a little bit different. Broken object property level authentication. Okay. See, API tends to expose endpoint that return all object properties. This is particularly valid for REST APIs. For other protocols such as GraphQL, it may require craft request to specify which property should be returned. Identified these additional property that can be manipulated requires more effort, but there are a few automated tools available to assist in that. So what is the weakness? Inspecting API response is enough to identify sensitive information in returned response. Fudging is usually used to identify additional hidden properties. Whether they can be changed is a matter of crafting. Okay. Side effect analysis may be required. Okay. Unauthenticated access to private sensitive object properties may result in data disclosure, data loss. So what happened here? So this is the vulnerability. See, API endpoint expose property of an object that are considered sensitive should not be read by the user. So see, we already did this sensitive data exposure in previous session. Like that endpoint don't need to be exposed the other users data, but that is exposing. Like I will show. Okay, let's open the Postman and I will show you. There is an endpoint. Which endpoint? That is community. I think community. Yeah, recent. See, this is the endpoint. Okay. Send the request. I think this is not working, unauthorized. Okay, so this is the endpoint that leaking the excessive data. Like if anyone want to check, then go there and watch our session. Like we will do all these things again, then you will understand more. Okay, so this what this endpoint doing, that this is leaking the data. Like otherwise there no need to leak that data. Okay, so this endpoint is leaking the data there. So I'm closing this. So what happened? Okay, maybe see, that is what is the issue there. Get, okay, user, or that issue is their post. Like user can see their post by this host many example.com. There is a host and user can write the post, and after, like if a user want to watch or see their post, maybe v2 API. Okay, this is the endpoint where user can see the details of his post. Okay, like this. Who is the author? Okay, author user, user one, and maybe user's email. Not email, only post. Like what is the post he written? This is not post required, this is the post the user written, means blog. You can write, okay, blog. Okay, so if blog equals to blog, okay, so what happen? Okay, if user want to see all the posts, like see there is a post, there is a see. Okay, we also created a blog post. So these are the blogs. Okay, like you can see them directly. Okay, like if user wants to see them, then okay, like if they are saying this, okay, like this blog post is written by this is, so we can see the author name. Okay, like this is Naresh Kumar Nistha Jain. Okay, so but like other than this, if this is leaking like this, okay, yeah, this is the author one. Okay, this is blog one. Okay, so what happens sometime? Author two. Like if I want to see all the blog, then maybe thing is like that. Okay, this blog to blog. Okay, okay. So if the application showing this, that's okay. But what happen, application sometimes showing like that, okay, email of that user, email, and email is open to typing, email is anything at the rate gmail.com, okay, and email of other user is email user2 at the rate gmail.com. So this is a sensitive data exposure. You can see, like, see, like there is no need to show the data, but we are seeing the data of other users. Like if I am saying like my user or my email, that is okay, but I am, if other users email is visible, then there is a bug, sensitive data exposure, username enumeration, p1 bug, p4 bug, okay, user email enumeration through API, that's p4 bug, okay. So unrestricted resource consumption, okay. So unrestricted resource consumption, see previously this broken object property level authorization bug is known as excessive data exposure and mass assignment. You guys heard about that, excessive data exposure, mass assignment. Now we call this broken object property level authorization, okay. Next is unrestricted, where we are broken 1 2 3 4, how many did unrestricted, okay, 4, unrestricted resource consumption, this, okay, unrestricted resource consumption. You can understand from the name, resource consumption means no rate limiting like thing, okay. So let's read this threat. What is the threat? Okay, exploitation requires simple API request. Multiple concurrent requests can be performed from a single local computer by using a cloud computing resource, means VPS. I already told you VPS, Amazon VPS, DigitalOcean VPS, okay. Most of the automated tools available are designed to cause DOS by a high load of traffic, impacting of API service rate. So this can lead to the DOS attack, okay. It's common to find APIs that do not limit client interactions or resource consumption. Craft API requests such as those including parameters that control the number of resource to the returned, okay. Performed response status timeline analysis should also identification of the issue. The same is valid for batched operations. Although threat agent don't have visibility or cost impact, this can be inferred based on service provider, cloud provider, okay. Business pricing model, okay. Cost effect, see, like if they are using an API endpoint and maybe they are using third party API, like maybe they are, you heard about that, like okay, some web application is using the Google API, and if there is no rate limiting, then we can send the multiple request, and that is they will go to the bigger bill because of the our no rate limiting bug on that, okay. So exploitation can lead to DOS due to the resource starvation, but it can also lead to operational cost. See, DOS attack, operational cost means increasing the, see, we are sending multiple requests and requests, or they are using the third party APIs. So they are charged, like if I am using the Google APIs, then they are charging me, okay. But nowadays, I don't know why most of the programs are not accepting this bug, okay. But you can send no rate limiting bug, okay. So what is the, so if an API is vulnerable, at least one of the following is missing, okay. Execution timeout, maximum allocated memory, maximum number of descriptors, maximum number of the process, maximum upload file size. See what happened, sometimes application is don't use any file size limit. So like if there is no size limit on uploading file, so what happened, like I can upload a 100 GB file. So like if they are using the AWS, so AWS using the charge according to the usage. Like if I am using the 100 GB, then they are charging means like I think $20 per month. Like okay, maybe if I upload a file 100 GB multiple times, maybe like 20 times. So next month they will they will go to the means like $200 or $400 charge. Okay, so that is the this thing, cost increase. Okay, operational cost. Okay, so you can also report this bug if there is no limitation on file upload. Sometimes they will accept, sometimes don't, so it depends on your luck. Okay, number of operations to perform in single API client request. Okay, we did already this bug, so we send multiple request in single request. See, we send a multiple request in a single request. So if anyone want to check out, then go to the GraphQL badging, then you will find out this. Okay, number of the records per page to return in single request. Okay, third party, yeah, I already explained the third party service provider example scenario. I think everyone know this. So how to prevent? Use a solution that make too easy to limit. Okay, we can use the limit memory usage, CPU, number of restart descriptor processes. Okay, define the enforce a maximum size of the data. Okay, like if a file upload, then we can use 10 MB, 20 MB maximum, that is enough, 10 MB, 20 MB. Okay, implement a limit on how often a client can interact with the API with the defined time frame. Rate limiting, we can use the rate limiting. Okay, rate limiting should be fine tuned based on the business needs. Okay, a limit throttle, how many times or how often a single API client uses user can execute a single operations. Example, add proper server side validation for query string and request body parameter. Okay, so this is about unrestricted resource consumption. So the next is broken function level authorization. So most of the time in API we will find out this BOLA and BAFLA. This is BAFLA, broken function level authorization. So you need to understand them. Broken function level authorization, like if we understand the bug, then it is easy to find out. Sometimes what happen, even you find out the bug but you don't know like this is the bug. So that is also so because of that we need to understand, okay, this is the bug, and we can report it. Okay, so broken function level authorization. Okay, so this is BAFLA. Exploitation requires the attacker to send legitimate API calls to an API endpoint that they should not have access to an anonymous user or regular non-privileged user. So you heard about privilege escalation bug. So this is, you can say inside in privilege escalation bugs, exposed endpoint will be easily exploited. So this is easy to find out bugs. Okay, I will tell you like how we can find out in when we do the labs or do the live hunting. Okay, authorization checks for a function or resource are usually managed via configurations or code level. So implementation proper check can be, so this is weakness. Okay, confusing task, since modern applications can contain many types of roles, groups, complex user hierarchies. So what happened? So because of this complexity, what happened? Sometimes the developer misconfigured something. So what happened? Okay, I think I have the example for this. Yeah, this. Okay, see, there is a identity API user video 782. So I am getting the detail here. See, this is an admin function. Try to access the admin API. See, so means when I'm sending with the user, then see, this is saying, okay, you need to be an admin. You are not admin. And when I change this user, see, v2 user. See, v2 user. When I change this v2 user to admin, user video deleted successfully, means there is no function level authorization. Means like if I changed this to normal user can delete the, see, like normal user cannot delete other users, like see other users, this is other users file, like so normal user cannot delete other users file. If we can delete that by changing this URL, then there is a BAFLA vulnerability. Okay, broken function level vulnerability. Okay, see, can a regular user access? So how we can find out, okay, there is a BAFLA. So can a regular user access administrative access administrative endpoint? Like if an regular user access administrative endpoint, then there is a broken function level. Okay, and can a user perform sensitive action? Means like always try to delete. Like do not try on the you can try on the bug bounty, but do not try when you do the pen testing. Never ever try this delete. Like if you want to try this, then just first ask to the client. Otherwise, like if you delete something important thing, then you will be in trouble. Okay. Can a user from an group X access a function that should be exposed only for user group Y? So, oh, see, I already told you, like if they are using like this, okay, if this is an author and this author can access the admin's things, like maybe there are admin related file and author can access, then there is a bug. And if this user can access author's thing or author's file, that then there is a bug. Okay. So this is BAFLA. Okay. Broken function level authentication.